Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bella, and this is the third and final installment to my series called Ban Book Talk, a three-part series that I am doing on a comprehensive guide to book banning and its negative implications on our society. This episode will provide you with a list of books that are typically found on banned book watch lists and encourages you to check them out yourselves. As a short preface, here is the table of contents for the books I will be covering in this video. In no way is this all of the books typically found on all watch lists, but these are the ones that I have both personally read and been most affected by while reading. Again, I would highly recommend all of these titles, but let's get into the book of this video to find out why. The Perks of Being a Wallflower is a story that follows Charlie, an incoming high school freshman who struggles with loneliness and anxiety. When we first meet his character, he is struggling to cope with the death of both his best friend Michael, who committed suicide, and the death of his Aunt Helen, who he was very close with. As the story progresses, we follow Charlie as he starts making friends, navigating familial and platonic and romantic relationships, and finally confronts repressed trauma that he holds onto from his past. In the end, Charlie makes the choice to seek help in dealing with his traumatic past and decides to take a more active role in his life instead of watching it pass by him like a wallflower. He also leaves the audience with a sense of hope and understanding for his circumstances. Through Charlie, we learn that it is imperative to participate in your own life rather than just observing it, to embrace your differences and accept yourself, and that supportive relationships are essential to helping you navigate life. Historically, this book has been placed on watch lists, or it has been banned or restricted by institutions due to its realistic portrayal of teenage issues, which critics argue is too explicit for a younger audience. However, I would like to argue that younger audiences should read the book because of its authentic portrayal of teenage angst and young adult circumstances. Personally, when I read this book in middle school, I not only felt so seen in the characters I read, but I was also inspired to read more books like it so that I could continue to keep that feeling alive. Next, The Color Purple is a story that follows the character Sally, who is a young black woman in rural Georgia. The narrative of the novel is told through her letters to God and spans 40 whole years as she experiences abuse, loss, and oppression. Throughout her journey, she creates strong bonds with other women who teach her to feel empowered and love. The novel deals with heavy but educational and relatable topics such as discrimination, racism, misogyny, sisterhood, and above all else, love. This novel is similarly frequently banned or challenged in schools and libraries for its mature and controversial themes. But once again, I believe that exposure to these kinds of stories will allow young minds to open up to their worldview and to be exposed to situations that they have never before experienced. The Handmaid's Tale is a dystopian novel which takes place in what is known as the Republic of Gilead. The society is under the rule of a totalitarian government which has just overthrown the United States government. Effectively, this story takes place in a future America. The story starts in the middle of a national fertility crisis in which fertile women, who are referred to as the handmaids, are forced into carrying the children of the next generation in order to aid in repopulation efforts. The stories go back and forth between the main character Offred's bleak and draining present life as a handmaid and her vibrant past life before the Republic of Gilead took over. This novel is typically challenged, restricted, or banned on the basis that it contains morally corrupt behavior, a perspective that generally comes from Christian audiences because it does not align with their teachings. However, I believe it is very eye-opening and serves as a story that can be used to understand power dynamics. Thank you all so much for following along on this journey with me. I feel so happy to have been able to compose these presentations and share all my ideas with you. I hope this series has inspired you to become more invested in the issue of book banning, And remember, read banned books, please.